Good morning.
Good morning.
We're going to be in the Gospel of John, chapter 11. And while you're turning there, who saw what I put on Facebook? Anybody? That God is the giver of life. That all things that there are come from Jesus. That all things that is created, He created, and there's nothing that was created that He did not create. So all things are from the Lord Jesus. And what He wants is for us to learn this, for us to know this, for us to depend upon this. Now, chapter 11 and verse 1 in the Gospel of John says, Now a certain man was sick, Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary who anointed the Lord with fragrant oil and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore, the sister sent to him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom you love is sick. And when Jesus heard this, he said, This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of Man may be glorified through it. That sometimes God has His own reasons.
There's a whistle.
Yeah.
There's a whistle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's your mic.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
All right, this better? Oh. All right, then that tells me the EQ on that mic is probably bad. I'm guessing it's a high pitch because I didn't hear it. Okay. Okay. In verse 4, when Jesus heard that, I remember she sent to him to say that he was sick. When he heard that this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of Man may be glorified through it. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister, and Lazarus. So when he heard that he was sick, he stayed 2 more days in the place where he was. Then after this, he said to his disciples, Let's go to Judea again. The disciples said to him, Rabbi, lately the Jews sought to stone you, and you are going there again? So they didn't understand, and they were actually afraid of what was going on around them. There's actually a couple of things going on here. If they was too busy looking at what was going on around them to trust that what God can do and that God would deliver, and they thought to stone you, they want to put you in jail, they want to kill you, they want to do whatever. And he was saying, we need to go. We need to go and do the work of God. We need to go and trust God. Go do what needs to be done. And Jesus says in verse 9, Are there not 12 hours in a day? If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of the world. But if one walks in the night, he stumbles because the light is not in him. These things he said, and after that he said to them, our friend Lazarus sleeps, but I go that I might wake him up. Talking about walking in the light. And this obviously, light is what he's talking about, is in God's plan. It's that we walk in the path of God, that God is the light, and he's already claimed that he's the light of the world, and that we are to be the light of the world, and we follow after him regardless of the circumstances going on around us. We got to remember, the Bible says, fear no man, but fear he who can send your soul to hell. I was reading, I forget where, to be honest with you, but they were going to stone Jesus for blasphemy. And they were all riled up, and what happened? He just gets up and walks off. And it didn't happen, obviously. But he goes and he says and he does that God may be glorified, because he even said, I do what my Father tells me to do. I say what he tells me to say. And we ought to learn from that very example. It's not what's going on around us, but yet what God tells us to do, and that we be obedient and to do it. Like planting a seed, like giving the word, or saying something, but yet the people that's around you in whatever circumstances. But if God has for you to say it, then you say it and be obedient. Because even when they said, Jesus said back up in verse 4, this sickness is not unto death. He's not going to die over this. But yet we find back down in verse 11, he said Lazarus sleeps. He only sleeps. And the death, obviously, that Jesus is talking about is the spiritual death. Lazarus only sleeps because Jesus knows that he controls. He controls it all. But yet he needs us to realize this. Let's go to verse 20. Obviously, he said, let us go. Lazarus sleeps. Well, they get up and they start heading that way. Well, eventually they get there. Then Martha, as soon as she heard Jesus was coming, went to meet him, but Mary was sitting in the house. Now Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been there, I'm sure she was crying. I'm sure she was sad and tears rolling. Lord, if you had been there, my brother would not have died. But even now, I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. Now, I like this. I like this. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. He knew this before he ever left, and he even stayed a little bit longer. And there's a reason he stayed there longer. She says that even now. I love the words, even now. In fact, on Facebook this morning, instead of titling it that Jesus that is the giver of life, I should have titled it, even now. I love even now. Even now, despite, the even now says that whatever's going on, whatever happened, whatever is happening, even now. Even now, in the midst of all of everything, he's already died. He's dead. He's in the grave. There's a stone in the way. He stinks. But even now, Lord, how does it get any worse for Martha and Mary here? How does it get any worse? don't know, when you don't know about your bills getting paid, when you don't know about food you're going to eat, when you don't know when your car was going to start, you don't know about flat tire, you don't know about circumstances and situations. When you don't know, and it seems like, stop and think about this for a minute, with Martha, it's over. What happened has happened, it's done. Had you been here, he would not have died, but yet he's dead. What happened, happened, it is over. But then she turns around and said, but even now, Lord, it don't get any worse than this. I am knee deep. I am knee deep in all of this mess. But even now, Lord. Look at Jonah. In the belly of the whale for 3 days. He could have easily given up. 3 days in this darkness. Just in the midst of it, it don't get any worse. I guess Jonah had it a little worse than Martha did. She was mourning her brother. Jonah was in the belly of a whale. And he prayed. And who would have thought, as nasty as this is, who would have thought that God caused the whale to throw up? Jonah was part of this throw up. But yet, alive still. And God had him, I need you to go. Go to Nineveh. After 3 days in that whale, and what is it? Jonah started praying. I can't help but wonder, what about during those 3 days? Was he like where Martha was? If you'd have been here, it's over, it is what it is. What happened, happened. Who knows what was going through that? I thought, what was going through this man's mind? Like, well, I'm just waiting to die here. At some point, something's going to happen, and I'm just stuck. I mean, there ain't no life in the stomach. Total darkness for 2 days, 3 days. And then finally, Lord, I'll do what you have me to do. Have mercy. Now, Martha, in comparison to that, now, Martha, had you been here, you would not have died, but even now, Lord. Even now that it's all done, that we're in the middle of it, I said the middle of it, for her, over it, Jonah was in the middle of it, but even now, Lord, when it seems like it don't get any worse, even now, Lord, well, that's some faith for you right there. I know it's already over, but even now, I know you can reverse all of this. He's dead, Lord, but I know you give life. He's dead. It seems like it's over, Lord, but all things are in your hands even now. And I'm going to start in 22. I love that. But even now, I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. Jesus said unto her, your brother will rise again. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. He didn't say maybe. He said he will. And it's all over. It's done. For they're concerned, he's dead. But yet even now, Lord. And Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at that last day. See, she is of the few, apparently, that's been paying attention, because the disciples, when Jesus died, they seemed to have forgot everything he said. And they were just ready to go back to fishing, and they were just going to go back to their lives. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. I said he was going to rise again. I'm the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? She said to him, Yes, Lord. I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is to come into the world. She said, Lord, I don't know. I don't understand. But I believe in anything that you'll tell me, even now. When it seems like there's no hope, when it seems like there's no way, when it seems like there's no future, when it seems like everything is wrong, when it seems like it's just one bad thing after another, and it doesn't ever quit. What in the world? Is there a target on my back? What is it going on? Even now, Lord, even now, I know that you are the resurrection. I know that you're the life. I know that every good and perfect gift, it comes from you. And I know when it seems to be hopeless, yet there is hope. Because even now, no matter how bad it is, no matter how deep the trouble and whatever the stumbling blocks and the issues, even now I've got faith in you, Lord. Even now, I believe in you. And you are bigger, you are mightier than whatever it is that I'm faced with, whatever it is that I'm going through. No matter how hard, no matter how trying, you're always with me, Lord. Even now, I am not alone. And we're going to skip and we're going to go. We're going to go to verse 41. He commanded that they move the stone from the grave. And they took away the stone from the place where the dead man was lying. Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. And I know that you always hear me. But because of the people who are standing by, I said this, that they may believe you sent me. Now when he had heard these things, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he who had died came out, bound, head and foot, with grave clothes, and his face was wrapped with cloth. And he said to them, Loose him and let him go. As bad as it was, Martha believed. Now, she probably didn't have a clue that Jesus was going to do that. But notice in verse 23, when Jesus tells her, your brother will rise again, in verse 22 is when even now happened. She stood on her faith before he ever said anything. I believe in you, God. And no matter how bad this is, no matter the situation, what's going on, I believe in you and I trust in you. And I know that you can do all things. I know that nothing gets by you. I know that you're always with me. And I'm going to stand on my faith. Because whatever happens, well, no matter what, when I don't see an end of it, or even when I think it doesn't get any worse, even now, Lord, you see me, you know all things, you can do all things, even now. You're with me always. Let me give you the glory. Let me give you the praise, and let my focus be on you. Let my life be in your hands. Bless me, O Lord. Can you imagine? And probably up to this point, I don't know, the Bible doesn't say, but stop and think about some things. Martha, Mary, and Lazarus been together, their brother and sister, all their lives. And all of a sudden, he's dead. I can only imagine. When they were young, Mom and Dad stepped up, they provided. Mom and Dad passed away. You think Lazarus stepped up and he provided? I mean, just stop and think about the reality of where they are. That now Lazarus has died. I imagine, and I'd be willing to bet, he played a big role in whatever income and what was going on in their family. And her and Mary are going to have to step up. I mean, she's got a lot going on in situations that has changed. And to put that aside, every bit. I don't know what tomorrow has in overload. I don't know. Even now, with everything, my brothers died. He was a big part of whatever comes into this house and food and the things that he did. And Mary and I took care of the house and whatever the situation was. Everything changed. He died. Even now, when I don't know what to do, when I don't know how much worse it's going to get, even now, you are my God. Even now, you're my salvation. Even now, all my help comes from you. Even now, whatever I am in need of, you are my provider. Even now, Lord, you are my healer. Even now, Lord, I stand in your shadow. Even now, Lord, you are my strength. You're my provider. You are my fortress. You're my strong and mighty tower. You are all that I need, Lord, even now, when I don't know what tomorrow holds. I believe in you even now. And we all have situations, and we all have, sometimes we find ourselves in Martha's place. Satan attacks us, life throws things at us, and it is what it is. Satan's going to do what Satan's going to do. We're not exempt from it. But yet we have a way out. Where God says he won't let nothing more come upon us than that we cannot handle, and that he will not give us a way out for. know what that tells me? In the middle of the storm, even now, Lord, even now, I don't see up from down here. I am so overwhelmed with this situation, Lord. I do not see a way out, but Lord, even now, you're the giver of my life. You're the giver of my blessings. You're the giver of my salvation. You, Lord, are my hope. We all have situations. We all are attacked. We all are in need. But even now, we're never left. We're never forgotten. And we're never too far gone. That God cannot and will not help us. He says, I'm with you always, even until the end of the world. And guess what? It's not there yet. Which means He is still here. He is still with us. He's still leading us. He's still providing. He's still healing. He's still giving to and fulfilling our every need. Even now. What does He need from us? He needs us to believe. He needs us to stand on our faith that He is the Lord our God. He is salvation. And regardless of what it is, regardless of how I feel and what I'm going through, glory to the name of Jesus. Amen? I'm going to open the altar now. For anyone who needs anything from the Lord, anyone who needs it even now,